Hey guys, I'm a Forester here. Today I want to do a knife review of a knife that I've been waiting for a real long time. I'll give you a little sneak peek of it right there. So without further ado, let's go to the review table. Let's start with the riddle of sorts, and all these knives will come from my knife collection. This Chris Reeve large Sabenza. You've seen that several times on my videos. That is to this Klotzli Walker 05. And I did a side-by-side comparison of those two knives as this Chris Reeve small Sabenza is to what knife? Well, you've already seen a sneak peek. Here it is right here, but it's the Klotzli Sarra. Now, aside from not coming with wood inlays, I'd say it's perfect in every way. At this point in building my knife collection, I'm pretty picky in the knives that I buy. But there are two knives that I planned to buy as soon as they became available, and both of them were Klotzlis. The Sarra model was one, and the Swiss Border Guard is the other one. Actually, there are other Klotzlis that I want also, but I'm just not willing to spend the money. Like the Koi, for instance. The Koi costs as much as an Ed Brown 1911. The Sarra came in this box right here. Inside the box are some specs. And I'm going to try to give you a close-up of that so you can just pause and read the specs for yourself. That way I'll focus on my impressions of the knife in this video. There was also some paperwork about the Klotzli Knife Company in general, telling the history of the company. And then inside that is the Napa leather case that holds the knife, and it was tied up with a bow. Now that bow is my bow, so don't blame the Klotzli people for that. My very first impression of the Sarra is one that I hate to admit. You see, in the U.S., you can only buy a Klotzli knife through New Graham Knives. And they've had a very limited selection of Klotzlis for months. So when I saw the Sarra, I ordered it immediately. I didn't really read the specs, and so I was surprised at its size when it did arrive. Let me put it down next to the ruler so you can see for yourself. It has a 2.7-inch cutting edge, and it's around 6 5/8 inches long overall. It's a little smaller than I was expecting, but believe me, I'm not going to send it back. I think it's a perfect gentleman's folder size blade, especially when carried in this classy Napa leather slipcase. You can get the knife with a clip or without, but I wouldn't recommend the clip due to its size. It might come out of your pocket. With this slipcase, it should look like new for years to come. I had to smile at this touch of Swiss detail in the jimping. Usually, jimping is on tactical knives for a non-slip grip, but on the Sarra, its purpose is in opening the knife, and it almost fully disappears when the blade is fully opened. Only a little bit sticks out up at the top. It's as if the Klotzlis are using the jimping to say, this isn't a tactical knife. Now, when I reviewed the Walker 05, I corresponded with Mr. Klotzli about it. He said that his knives are partially designed for their unique sound effects, so I paid special attention to the sound effects of the Sarra. It's almost like the sound of a mechanical clock. And I noticed that the final opening click, that one is actually two sounds that are perfectly synchronized. One is the sound of the blade hitting this stop pin right here. The other one is the sound of the titanium liner sticking to the steel tang of the blade. Now I can isolate the stop pin sound by holding down on the liner lock. But taken together, they create a fuller sound that's indistinguishable from each other. There is so much more to appreciate about this knife that I probably can't do it justice. Now, blue is my favorite color, and the blue anodization of the liner adds contrast. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the blue in this largest hole here is a little faded. But I'm responsible for that because I've been using it as a fidget spinner. It has perfect centering. Both of my Klotzlis do. And I like the two-tone finish of these titanium scales. The highest praise that I can give Klotzli knives is that I check with new Graham knives weekly so as not to miss the arrival of a new batch of Klotzli knives. And I ordered this knife immediately when I saw it. I can't say that about any other knife. I'm still looking for that Swiss border guard. Please be sure to like the video and leave a comment below. Y'all take care.